Welcome back. The energy industry not exactly embracing President Trump's proposed tariffs on steel and aluminum. Energy executives at the CERAWeek conference in Houston predicting that the proposed tariffs could bump up the price of upcoming shale and natural gas projects by 3 to 10%. Joining us right now from that conference is the co-founder of Tellurian. He is Charif Souki. Charif, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you, Maria.
So the president this morning confirmed in a tweet that there will be a meeting on tariffs this afternoon. Where do you stand on the issue?
Well, I have two different views on it. On the standpoint of personnel, I'm generally opposed to trade restrictions. But from a business standpoint, it really doesn't matter much. We're in a very fortunate position to have access to very, very cheap gas in the United States. We know how to build liquefaction facilities in a very competitive manner, so it will not have much of an impact on us.
Mike?
I think your estimate of about 5% increase to cost is correct, but in the overall scheme of things, it doesn't matter.
So, sorry, it's Mike Murphy. Just to expand on what you were saying, so the tariffs won't have an impact on your business, but I think from a much larger picture, even if just the energy picture, the concern for some people is that it's going to have negative impacts on a lot of U.S.-based businesses as foreign countries try to respond to the tariffs that the president's putting in place. I think it's a good move to have fair trade, but I'm wondering how you see it. Do you see a negative impact on the energy industry as a whole here in the U.S.?
It will definitely increase our costs, probably in the 5% range. It's hard to know the exact details, so we'll have to wait to see what the real impact is. But at a first cut, it will increase our costs in the neighborhood of 5% for both the liquefaction facilities and the pipelines, and also for the drillings of wells that we will do over the next 20 years. So it will definitely have an impact. But I think in the overall scheme of things, we have such a competitive position compared to the rest of the world, it won't matter much.
Let me ask you, yesterday, of course, the big news was Gary Cohn stepping down, the White House economic advisor. He was working on the infrastructure plan. Charif, where do you think the infrastructure plan stands now with Gary Cohn out? That's been a priority for this White House. You've projected that the natural gas industry will need over $150 billion worth of infrastructure work. Explain.
Well, for us, the good news is that $150 billion of infrastructure we intend to fund ourselves. So I don't think the industry will need any help. What they will need is regulatory certainty, which the administration is working on improving, and the ability to understand that if they make an investment, they will be not slowed down by regulatory reasons or anything else.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is working in the right direction.
And Mary, steel is accounting for 30% of the new drilling project costs. So obviously steel is a part of the story as well.
This is a known goal here. I mean, Trump has done so much to stimulate economic growth on the supply side, cutting regulations, cutting taxes, Charif, how strong is this economy? Could it really withstand a global trade war if that's where we're headed?
Well, I think the first level of trade war, simply looking at the tariffs by themselves, it will not have an impact because our competitive position is so strong on a global basis. We produce gas in a very, very attractive manner, and we build the infrastructure in a very competitive way compared to any country that wants to compete with us. So from that respect, I don't think it'll have much of an impact. It will definitely have an impact, but it won't matter in the overall scheme of things. However, if you start getting into tit for tats and retaliation, that's an entirely different story. I do agree with the previous comment that in general, trade wars are not good. The part of the population that will suffer the most is the American consumer, because everything will go up for them.
Yep. All right. We will leave it there. Charif, thanks very much for joining us. And that's
Thank you.
And that's the point. If it triggers a trade war, then it is really, really bad.